Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Legacy of the Rimlen, post Vision Dreams edition. Although that happens way more often than perhaps you would like. I know it's my favorite plot device. Anyway, last time stuff happened. Before we get into that, I would kindly ask these people to, as usual, introduce themselves and their characters. I say that we should start first and foremost with Show&Tell. Could you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Yes, hi, I'm Show&Tell. I'll be playing as Anghel, who's a mute peasant boy and also Prince Charming. And that's it, I guess, for now. Oh, and he wants to kill the dragon. And maybe he's becoming a little bit too confident in himself. Who knows?
Pride comes before the fall and all that. Yeah, well, you never know with tabletop games. It's perfectly reasonable that Anghel would just become like some prideful asshole and win in the end. Yeah, perfectly reasonable. Who knows? Or he may fail instantly. Anyway, thank you very, very much, Show&Tell. Next, we would have Ashen. Could you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character? Are you here, Ashen?
I accidentally muted myself and started talking. Yes, I'm here, and I'm playing as Illona, a very sneaky lady, can turn into a cat sometimes, has a talking chicken, and nightmares.
That's a very good description. Good one. Thank you very, very much, Ashen.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And next, of course, we would have Deli. Could you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Deli. And as usual, I'm playing as Muninn. They are a traveling scholar from Brightland. And they love books. I was going to say something smart about their current predicament that they're in, but I couldn't think of anything.
I almost thought you were gonna go into that. I don't remember who the author of the song is, but that one song that says "I love big butts and I cannot lie."
Yeah.
What?
They do too.
Sure. Thank you very, very much, Deli. So, last time, as Ashen briefly alluded to, nightmares happened. Well, debatable if you'd call them nightmares or not. Kind of. Anyway, after Anghel returned to camp and went back to sleep, all that, each of you had visions from various more or less nefarious deities. I guess sort of going in player alphabetical order. Illona's vision, she saw a vision of her friend Eloise, which I don't believe Illona knew. Anghel saw this friend of Illona's in one of his previous visions, but Anghel doesn't know this person, so I really doubt he would have conveyed that to Illona. But either way,
I don't think he conveyed anything.
Yeah, fair enough. Illona saw her old friend and the Grand Vizier in a very intimate situation, to say the least, though more in a business sense rather than a couple sense, I guess. But also on the more practical side of things, Eloise really wants to find someone that's implied to be Illona, and the Grand Vizier is thinking about attacking Illona's homeland, so that's always fun. This little endeavor was interrupted by the Grand Vizier's subordinate, another fellow that you guys have seen previously, not directly but in visions. And this subordinate person, who's also a political rival, after like some word sparring, basically said, basically told the Grand Vizier about the one time you guys killed a bunch of soldiers with the aid of wolves and like in a very gruesome fashion, all that fun stuff. And apparently that got found out, but also apparently the prince of this country does not know. But the Caramels have sent like a cavalry squadron to investigate. That was more or less Illona's vision. Muninn's vision was a vision from their best pal ever totally not manipulating them, Cassius, who basically said, hey, since you killed Good Eye, the fates decided that you're gonna be the next Good Eye, so you basically have 4 choices. Repent to the church, which is Cassius's least favorite option. Become a Cassius's oracle, which is basically sort of like a fast track of, you get all of Cassius's gifts and his knowledge and all that, but you will also be subservient to him. Or Muninn does become Good Eye, or Muninn will be offered a bargain by the dragon that will allow Muninn to keep their autonomy, their independence, but will also have nefarious consequences that are far-reaching, at least it's so implied. Muninn last time was undecided about what to do. I guess we might see this session if we get to afternoon as to what happens. Also, small minor detail, Cassius told Muninn, hey, whatever you choose, unless you pick the radical options, you've proven your worth. I am willing to teach you magic, Muninn, which I guess we kind of forgot about that in the confusion of everything else that happened. You guys still listening? Okay, sorry, quiet for a long time. As for Anghel's vision, he was shown a vision by his not-so-favorite tormentor, Eurymedon, who basically showed him a vision of his sister and Mia, played by Ashen, who are being tutored by a fellow named Sachte Denise, who is totally not Eurymedon in disguise, and totally did not emphasize the point to Anghel. But unfortunately for Eurymedon himself, those 2 ladies are also watched over by a guard who is totally not Erisina in disguise, aka Cassius' sister, who promised to protect Anghel's sister. Lots of sisters, I guess. And that was kind of a surprise to Eurymedon as well, so he suddenly cut off the vision because he didn't know how to scare Anghel in that situation. But yeah, after that, morning came. Anghel, I don't think he did. Yeah, I don't think he did. But Muninn talked about their vision and revealed that the dragon is coming. I forgot to mention this, Ashen, while we were recapping you, but Illona did not want to fight a dragon, as that's how we played her. Feel free to say, oh yeah, Illona totally wants to find a giant fire-breathing lizard. Your choice.
Okay.
But Anghel, or at least the Prince Charming side of Anghel, really wants to fight a dragon. You guys also saw fires to the south, evidence of what the liberated slave army's been up to, far to the south, I mean. And after noticing that, Muninn contacted Aurelia of the Rimlen, which I've said this 3 times before before we started recording, but I'll say it again. To quote Dely themselves, well, that was a waste of time regarding this particular conversation with Aurelia, because it was basically Muninn reiterating, you need to hurry, and Aurelia reiterating, I'm not going to take a rash decision, along with like some very minor bits of information that she like mentioned that I don't think are like necessarily worth mentioning in this like very general recap. So as we rejoin everyone, I guess I propose that we I should not have shown you that. I propose that we briefly move the spotlight to Illona, because we didn't really get her thoughts on the entire situation, at least not her sincere thoughts, I guess. So, Ashen, would you be willing to enlighten us as to what's going through Illona's mind, given the news about the dragon and all that stuff, as well as the vision that she experienced?
Yeah, I think you were spot on with the fact that she doesn't want to fight a dragon. I feel like she might still be a bit overwhelmed. I remember like last time when like we had last session, she was like quite shaken and like in her own head a bit. And like seeing a ghost from the past like that, I think she's so like caught up with every crazy stuff that's happening to her right now that she's like, oh shit, I used to have a life before. I didn't remember that, kind of. So she's definitely like wondering also if she'll be able to see Eloise soon. And a part of her wants to be found, I think, definitely, and another is also like quite reluctant to it.
Small minor detail that I forgot to mention in the recap. Nictelios, who was the one who showed Illona that vision, also like taunted Illona like, yeah, I'm not gonna allow you to visit her, not until you've like done that favor for me that you owe me.
I imagined, yeah. I remember the favor thingy. She might be a bit like defeated with that, but also like hope. You know, when you don't want to drag someone into some shit, maybe it's like for the best. She feels like.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What about Muninn's predicament? Obviously, you mentioned that Illona does not want to fight a dragon, but there were lots of other things that Muninn said other than dragon is coming.
As far as Muninn's thoughts, I think so they don't really want to fight the dragon. As enticing as doing the dragon a favor, or rather doing the dragon's quest. As enticing as that is, they don't really want to help the dragon. And it's enticing because it means that they have a lot of autonomy and stuff like that, compared to the other options on their list. So they don't want to fight the dragon, really. There's a sense of guilt, because from the feeling that they don't want to fight the dragon, because they're like, well, we didn't want to fight the wolf either, and look how that turned out, the big bad wolf. But it's only a small, like, sense of guilt, but anyway, I think Muninn is just weighing out their options and seeing, like, what the best option is in terms of, like, what they're gonna do with the decision that they have to make, For the sake of, I don't know if I've said this during this session's recording or not. For the sake of clarity, I think Muninn is probably most likely going to join Acacius and become Acacius's oracle, but that's not the ideal situation. But then there is no ideal situation, so who knows what's going to happen.
Noted. Understandable. And I appreciate the input, Dely, but I was asking Ashen.
I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I thought you said. I thought you were talking to me.
No worries.
I also thought so. What?
Sorry if I did not make myself clear, and no worries, Dely. Your input is definitely appreciated, nevertheless.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, I was basically asking you, Ashen, any thoughts on Muninn's predicament other than Illona does not want to fight a dragon?
Oh, I totally didn't get that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think Illona's also quite like scattered with that. None of them seems good. And kind of like a shit situation all over.
It is, yes. Understandable.
So I feel like she would only like whatever Muninn decides to do, she would try to like support that, but also like, please don't fight the dragon.
That is not Muninn's choice. That's Anghel's choice.
Sure.
By the way, obviously you weren't here, Ashen, but Anghel was very, very vocal about his desire to fight the dragon. We basically played Illona as thinking that Anghel is insane for wanting that.
Reversed roles. Cool. Definitely something new. Yeah. Okay.
But speaking of, Show&Tell, your thoughts? Well, Anghel's thoughts, I guess.
About what exactly?
Everything, I guess, but since the main topic of conversation was Muninn's predicament, I guess that.
I mean, last session, Anghel was like, "Oh, turn into a monk." That's weird. But then he said also that Prince Charming probably wants him to turn into Good Eye so they can get to the dragon.
Not necessarily. Prince Charming wants the option that does not help the dragon and saves the most innocent lives. And if it like draws the dragon in for Prince Charming to fight, all the better.
Okay. Well, anyway, Anghel himself was like a little conflicted about Muninn becoming Good Eye. Beyond that, yeah, he didn't want him to like turn to Akessis because he hates him. And I think he pretty much said so. But he's not going to like do anything if Muninn chooses to do that.
Hate is a strong word. I did not expect it, to be honest.
I mean, with everything that's been going on, especially after what happens, in the what was it? Was it a village? With all the slaves.
Yeah. Well,
a
village surrounding a ruined monastery, but yeah.
Anghel was like very like he took, I guess, more notice. I mean, that and also like burning down the monastery and stuff. Yeah. And Good Eye dying. In a way, like, yes, Muninn is like responsible, but I think Anghel kind of blames Akessis too.
I mean, Akessis was directly responsible for burning both monasteries, so understandable.
Yeah, I don't know if Anghel knows that, but he feels like, Muninn has been manipulated in any case.
Anghel knows about the slave monastery burning in the sense, like, whose fault it is, in the sense of the leader of the uprising was directly inspired and pushed by Akessis' representative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, he's starting to hate him.
Yeah, fair enough. So I suppose we rejoin the three of you. Sort of where we left off last session was you guys getting up, waking up Good Eye and the horse on that note. Presumably going to retrieve your horses, kind reminder about that, I guess, and meeting up with Ophelia to continue on sort of your main quest. But obviously, Ashen, since you didn't have proper input last time, so to say, feel free to prolong the conversation by saying, "Hey guys, can I actually tell you about my vision thing," or whatever else you want to talk about. If not, we can, of course, continue on. Okay, going once, going twice.
Sorry, I did it again. I muted and forgot about it.
Fair enough.
Just ignoring you. No, I was saying I don't feel like Illona is particularly interested in sharing her visions, and so she keeps that to herself for now.
Fair enough. All right. So, you guys get up, go to the stables where both Ophelia and your horses are. Fun enough coincidence. And as you go, you will see almost like a large religious procession begin to form in the ruins of the monastery as all of the villagers and the surviving monks gather to presumably, like Anghel told them to, flee to New Spring and then beyond. You don't necessarily have to interact with that. It's just that, yeah, it's happening.
Okay, very nice.
You also begin, like, it's very loud in the sense that it's not just a flight. It's almost like a very visible pilgrimage as they, including the villagers, are reciting religious hymns, holding up whatever icon survived the fire. It feels almost more like a pilgrimage rather than a flight from danger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever makes them feel happy.
How much attention are you guys paying to your companions?
Illona, none. None at all.
Which
Yeah, probably not.
companions?
All of
Like,
them. All of them. Like,
Ophelia or what?
not Ophelia, because you don't see her yet. The
Oh.
people around you.
Oh, just look at the people around us. Like, okay.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say I feel like Muninn might, like, when they see what's going on, they would like probably look around to see what everyone else is thinking, like, or what everyone else.
I think Angel's paying attention to the monks, just or whoever's fleeing, just to see that they are kind of.
Then I think Muninn would be the only one to notice. But obviously, feel free to roll careful for other people to notice or like share that information. Always Thirsty and the horse are not around.
What?
Ooh.
Wait, they just kind of disappeared now, or was it?
Shrug.
Yeah.
I guess
Would
Muninn.
Angel not notice that? Maybe he wouldn't.
Up to you. Up to you.
I guess Muninn, just in case Muninn would say, or it's up to you, you shouldn't tell. But Muninn would say, like, hang on a minute, where have those two gone? Like, as in, Muninn would point to where Always Thirsty and the horse may have been standing previously.
Angel notices, I guess, and he looks around.
You can both give me carefuls if you'd like. Go ahead, Dely.
I was just RPing. I was just like, where have they gone or whatever. Is there a careful with eyes, or is this?
Yeah, I guess unless you're planning to sniff them out like a hunting dog.
I get a 3.
I get a 8.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. Unfortunately, that is a bit of a waste of an excellent roll because the answer will be the same. You don't see them anywhere. I guess Muninn, you feel extra sure that they're not around, and I'll give you a little bonus. As soon as like you heard the monks chanting begin, you think you saw them like sort of almost vanish out of thin air.
Oh
my
shit.
god!
Oh.
Holy shit!
Damn.
I guess Muninn would point that out. They would say like, they're gone. Like as soon as the monks started chanting, I think, like, does anyone remember seeing them before or after?
Angel looks worried.
Also, Show&Tell. Anghel obviously feels worried because, they're his friends. But normally Anghel would be worried about them because you're Prince Charming and they're Prince Charming's companions. You don't sort of feel that instinct at the moment. You're just worried. You're just worried because they're your friends.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That's
wow,
so
these monks
interesting.
really have an effect. I don't know, a cancellation effect. I guess.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how. I guess Muninn would say like, is it fair to say that Muninn would say like, oh, whatever they're chanting, Muninn would say something like, whatever they're chanting maybe is against the weeds of fate, or like the fate of the world. Like,
Whatever
I don't know if
what?
Muninn, like you know how always thirsty is like an agent of fate.
Hmm.
It's like Muninn would say something like, oh, maybe whatever they're chanting it like defies fate or something.
Give me a clever.
Okay.
Okay.
Would that need a learned mind?
I don't think so.
Okay, fine. A 4.
You suspect it's not necessarily fate or perhaps just fate. Rather, it's the fact that the horse, always thirsty, they've appeared in this world because of basically the old magic showing up in the world. And this, like the monks' prayers and like the church in general, is like on the opposite scale of that kind of magic.
Yeah, that makes sense. So they are like, it is like a counter spell, basically.
Yeah, in D&D terms, yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Though,
That's so
though
interesting.
you also suspect with that clever that once you move sufficiently far away from the monks, or if the monks stop chanting, always thirsty and the horse will probably come back, and they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, we were just like over there," like act casual about it.
Yeah. Even though they're like wiped from existence or whatever.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's crazy.
Totally.
I've got something interesting. And I don't know if you want me to roll a clever to even for Moomin to think about this or whatever. But do we know? Rather, does anyone apart from Anghel know that Anghel has these feelings of like, because I'm Prince Charming,
Only
I feel
Anghel knows, I
compelled.
think. I don't think Anghel has ever revealed, hey, there's a strange voice in my mind telling me to do things.
Okay. In that case, because no one else knows that, I don't know if Moonin would ask this. But I'm wondering if Anghel plugs his ears, would that compulsion come back, do you think?
I cannot
be
answer that
interesting.
question.
Oh, because of the change. Well,
Yeah. It'd be interesting if that's the case.
I cannot answer that question.
maybe he
Yeah.
would try, but I don't think he would think of it himself.
Yeah. I don't know how that would help in this situation, but it'd be interesting.
No, just interesting to see if it works that way.
Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, Muninn is aware that Anghel maybe is Prince Charming. I don't think Munin's aware that Anghel receives strange thoughts about it. But
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe above board. I know the answer is no. But do you? So we all. Sorry, just to clarify before I say this, RP wise, we all know in game that Anghel is Prince Charming, like in the lore, right? Like our characters know that.
I think we
yeah,
kind of gathered.
You've also been like told, and you've inferred it, but
Yeah.
it's hard to say if it's like set in stone or it's just like a bunch of fancy coincidences. I more so leave that up to however your individual characters would interpret it.
Okay. In that case, Moonin would ask Anghel, like, Anghel, do you feel any weaker, or do you feel any different?
I mean, he feels different. I guess he does.
So you would
I don't know
really
exactly how it manifests. Like, does it manifest in strength?
I
don't know if Prince Charming really gives him strength.
Confidence, not strength.
Confident. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But I don't know if Anghel would he think to connect that?
You can, if you want a more neutral answer, you can give me a clever, but I'm also perfectly comfortable leaving it up to you.
clever. Let's see.
No.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
he doesn't feel any different.
Where's always thirsty? Your friend's missing.
Totally.
Okay.
Nice try.
Muninn would they would weird. Well, I guess maybe we should get a move. Like maybe we should move away from these people, or maybe we should move away anyway in general.
Trying to feel and stuff.
Oh, and yeah, true. We need to. Would Anghel, do you think Anghel would like sign that or something?
I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe.
above board, aren't you heading there anyway? Because that's where your horses are.
Really?
Yeah, but
So
like
maybe-
to move on. I mean, like Anghel, I think is worried about always thirsty and the horse, and he doesn't realize it's because of the chanting. I guess so.
Yeah. Did Muninn figured out that once we move away they might come back, right? Or was that
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beginning?
Muninn did.
Okay. In that case, Muninn might continue what they were like, or like they might elaborate and they might say like, I have a feeling that once we're, I mean, I have a feeling that this isn't Muninn stuttering, by the way.
Mhm.
Always thirsty, that's his name. Muninn would say something like, I have a feeling that Always Thirsty might come back once we move far away enough. And they would say it like that. Because they're not quite sure.
Anghel's like confused. It's like
I'm
Like,
almost
did you
tempted to
keep-
say, I'm almost tempted to say, based on the roll of -1, I'm not gonna establish this, but I just find it funny that Angel's thoughts may be, okay, Always Thirsty will come back, but what about the horse?
why? I missed something. I feel.
Because you rolled a -1 on your clever, so you're not.
No,
thinking
yeah, but
straight.
like, why only always thirsty? Is that
Because
is that the only thing that Muninn said?
Muninn only mentioned Always Thirsty.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is.
So maybe Anghel thinks like, okay, I'll ask always thirsty where the horse is. I guess.
Sure. I also I was just making a joke. I did not mean to imply that that's what actually happens.
I mean, that's fine. I'm fine with that. In case Angel's confused, is like, okay, sure. Like whatever that means. Maybe he thinks that Muninn meant like that maybe they saw them somewhere, and if they move away, they will see them or something.
Sure. I think Muninn. Yeah. That's fair enough. So
And in case Angel is willing to move forward.
okay, cool. In that case, like Muninn would ask Illona, like, are you coming?
I think like Illona would snap out of her like thoughts about, she's in a different realm right now. Like, what?
Yeah.
Sorry. Coming where?
We need to speak to Aurelia.
Ophelia, I think you mean.
Yeah, Ophelia. Sorry, I was thinking
Oh.
Aurelia's not right, but anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go. Like Illona's still like, completely looking into nothing,
Yeah. Probably uncharacteristically, Muninn like, sorry, the mute button. Uncharacteristically, Muninn might ask of Illona like, "Are you alright?"
I just have this weird feeling of doom.
Oh boy.
Illona's not laughing, but I am.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess things aren't really looking up right now. I'm not excited to look up. I'm not excited to face this dragon, if that's what you mean. Either, if that's what you mean, that's what Muninn would say.
I think the mention of the dragon would kind of snap Illona out of the staring contest with the universe, and like look at Muninn and be like, I guess we have each other at least. We'll be in it together. And she looks at Anghel as well, like kind of like this trio that's like pulling apart in all different directions.
Yeah.
It's what we have.
Previously, before the monks started chanting, you kind of felt reassured by Anghel's presence. Now you just feel, that's Anghel.
Mood swings.
I guess. So, let me know when you finally reach where Ophelia is. Up to you guys.
Is this fast travel? Heck yeah.
I mean, she's like a couple minutes away at most.
It's fast travel. I vote.
Sure. As you approach the stables, you will see a fairly unusual sight, but perhaps not so unusual given the past few days. Outside the stables, you will see Rebob crouching in the fetal position, still crying after yesterday's events.
Damn.
Jesus. Did he move from that position, or was he there?
He moved. He moved. He previously he was like in the middle of the road. Now he is propped up against the stable wall.
I think Illona was kind of smirk at that. It would cheer up a bit. Sorry.
You did this to him.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I think Muninn might actually say like you made quite an impression on him.
I think that would kind of make Illona crack up a bit. She feels better.
Yeah. Muninn might say something like, you know, in Brightland, and Teeironor, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is right. Muninn might say something like, you know, in Brightland, like Rebob wouldn't last a day. There are cats everywhere in the libraries and everything.
Yeah, I feel like why cats? It's such a specific. What happened there?
The funny thing is, Illona might know this. Sure, there are cats in Brightland, but the caramel capital, the Emperor's City, is like well renowned for how many cats it has. And Rebob definitely worked for the caramel, so it's a wonder he survived that place.
Yeah.
Truly.
He must have been a wreck.
A what?
A wreck. He must have been like in shambles.
That's not what I heard.
Oh, yeah. No, he definitely wasn't that.
No, didn't check out.
What did you hear? I heard wreck the first time. Now I'm confused.
Sure. I'm not sure.
What rhymes with a wreck?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway.
I still don't know.
Moving on.
I still don't know. Tell me after the session, just in case it's something we need to censor. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Rebob is weeping at the moment. More softly than yesterday, but still.
Oh.
Yeah. Muninn might say by the way, because I know Illona said, because Illona said like, oh, I wonder why that is. I think Muninn would say something like, because I think this is true in real life. Unless I'm misremembering. Muninn might say something like, oh, I think the cats are supposed to keep mice away or something that stops them from ruining the tomes and scrolls and everything like that.
Oh, you're above board, yeah. You are correct, Deli.
Yeah, in that case,
I was confused because I thought you were speculating about why Rebob has that particular phobia. My bad.
Yeah.
No.
I was also thinking about the particular phobia.
Oh, is that so? Did Illona say like, I wonder why that is? As in, I wonder why Rebob is scared.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
The title of this episode shall be Misunderstandings, or Dely's,
Yeah.
Dely's Misunderstandings.
No.
Oh. Goddamn. Maybe Muninn would still say that, but they would say something like, "Oh, I think." Instead, they would start a sentence like, "I think Brightland had so many cats because," rather than like, "Oh, I think it's because." Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Mhm. I think
I
Illona
don't
would be like trying to imagine just like a town where there's cats everywhere, like an
Yeah.
unlimited cat. You know, she'd be like, "Wow, it's a lot of them."
I think.
Can you imagine the amount of like cat hair everywhere?
I mean,
Oh gosh.
I think Illona has been in the Emperor's City, the city that I mentioned. At least,
Oh.
I think it would make sense given like where she comes from in the world and where she wound up at.
Maybe she's like thinking fondly of petting some cats there. I don't know.
Also, you have asked Rebob before why he's so afraid of cats, and he has explained it before, though not very rationally.
Okay. Oh, it's the bad luck thingy, the witch thingy, right? Bad luck
something.
animal. Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Yep, and also,
Stupid.
it's more of like a cultural thing for his people, not necessarily a personal phobia.
Okay. But it seems like a personal phobia too. Let me tell you.
Yeah? Well, one led to the other. Anyway, yeah. we spent like 5 minutes on Rebob crying. I did not expect that.
We move fast here.
Yeah. I am. Stupid.
Okay.
Well, that's the first. He's basically at the doorway of the stables. You have to like pass by him. So what happens?
I pass by him.
Yeah, Muninn would step over him if that's necessary.
Well, I guess when he notices you guys approach, he like wipes away his tears and like slowly shuffles to his feet. He looks very defeated and kind of humiliated.
Oh, I feel bad for him.
Muninn would say, Muninn would ask like, "Get much sleep last night, did you?"
He will not reply. But his expression still looks very somber, so, you know, that's, I guess, an answer in and of itself.
I think Illona wouldn't like try to engage in conversation, but she would give like a kind of sort of reassuring smile, but also she feels like it's kind of pathetic, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it would be like an undertone of that, maybe. Hard to read, but maybe.
Either way, once you are inside the stables, you see your horses and Ophelia's carriage. She is presumably still inside the carriage with her bodyguard and the other person that's inside the carriage, because you don't see them outside.
Okay. I just forgot. We forgot about like the distraction was too much. We didn't tell Rebob not to tell anything to Ophelia. Right?
That's correct, but because of the distraction, I did assure you that he will not tell anything yesterday, which has passed, I guess. Well, given the fact that he was weeping because of a cat, you can presume that he has not said anything yet.
You could, like, if Illona suddenly remembers that, do you think Illona would, like, not to suggest things?
Yeah,
Sure.
I was thinking the same as well.
Okay.
I might depart from the gang and just talk a bit with Rebob.
Okay.
But do the gang part want to happen first? Well,
What part?
huh?
What?
I guess. Sorry.
In my head, Illona like move back and go to Rebob as you
Okay.
Yeah.
forward to Ophelia. And I was asking if like you wanna have that conversation first.
To me, it makes sense that we tell Rebob to shut his mouth before we speak to Ophelia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Rebob notices that you're like hanging back to speak to him, so he looks at you. He looks like a wreck. Emotionally, I mean.
I think Illona would say, "Hey, are you okay?"
Says nothing. He's too embarrassed to like admit, you know.
I don't know how to approach this. Should it be like the aggro route of being like intimidating since it's already broken, or be like, "Oh man, we are your real friends. We feel for you. We wouldn't tell anybody, and neither would you, right?" You know?
I like that route where you're approaching it as like a friend, but then you have that undertone of like threatening. I like that.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that. So Illona would like smile reassuringly, like, and put a hand on his shoulder. Actually, like, you tilt your head back as to really show, like, yeah, buddy, you know. And she would say,
Looks at your hand mildly confused and then mildly annoyed because he thinks you're being patronizing.
She would say, like, "Look, we've all been through like situations we're not proud of, or want to take full responsibility for, but like, we don't judge you, and we're not gonna tell anybody about this. I was just hoping that you know that." And
He relaxes a little bit.
And I guess I'm asking the same of you too. She would like look. Is earnest a word you can use for that? What is earnest? It's just a name.
It's synonymous
Honest.
with honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That part, that word, yes.
So you have this like honest expression, but are you being honest?
Yeah.
Okay. He looks at you and says, "I told you I have a duty to fulfill. In spite of my failings."
Okay. Can I?
I cannot be bribed, no.
That was like me doing the can I, not Illona.
My bad.
I was asking if I could roll something maybe, but he's pretty good at the rolly game.
Well, what are you intending to do with said roll?
So my wish is that like friendship roll, like he starts to value the friendship more than Ophelia.
Give me, I guess, a flashy, but it will be a difficult roll, a very difficult one.
Oh, is it a flashy? But like we've been through so much together.
It's not exactly the other things. I don't think the way you're emphasizing it. Yeah. The more I think about it, it's definitely flashy.
Oh, shit. I still have that gun, right?
That
You-
is
Oh my
escalated fast.
god!
You do still have the gun if you want to kill Rebob, but it won't likely won't just be one roll. Well, yeah, I guess you do have your stunt anyway.
He says no to you. You start this conversation. He says no to you. You go, okay, I'm just gonna shoot you. I get.
Also, a gun may not be the best way to go about it because guns are loud.
Yeah, but I was
yeah,
more
but-
thinking about threatening first, but nah.
Good news.
Okay.
Good news. Bad news. Threatening is either flashy or forceful, which you're even more awful at.
Shit. I'm so sneaky with my threats, it's not even noticed, you know?
No, definitely not.
No, I think maybe Illona would say, can't you see? I think that's a sign.
Looks confused.
Wait, what's the plan?
Am I giving myself away if I say like that cat stopping you? Maybe it was a sign. It was an omen.
That if you want to roll, it would be a flashy, but
Fuck.
he just looks confused. Don't worry, he's not going to suspect that. Oh, you randomly turn into a cat. That would never cross even his like wildest imagination.
Hell yeah. Okay.
I guess never say never, but the way you worded it, no, you're not giving yourself away.
Fuck yeah.
It's just that all you have achieved is confuse him.
That's something. I'll take it. I don't know how to continue. He's gonna look at me confused.
He says, "Is there anything else?"
Just
I did not know you worship cats.
worship. I didn't know that either.
That's how he interpreted your babble.
Oh. I don't worship them, but I do feel like there's definitely symbols you can see, like omens, you know?
Okay.
Be perceptive, Rebob. I'm just confusing both myself and Rebob. This is going nowhere. Can I like use? Oh fuck! I want to use some like. I don't have any useful aspects or stunts for this moment. I feel like I need like help from something bigger than babbling.
You know, I think he'll say, "Be careful who you spout that kind of belief around. Other people may kill you for it." It's not. Polytheism is not something you should partake in.
That's what I'm saying, Rebob. I trust you enough to tell you these things, and I would.
Why?
I would like this.
We barely know each other.
You remember how we killed that Amazon woman, you and I? Like a team.
No, you killed her. I tried to cover up your mess.
We're like a team yet again.
Brilliant.
Can't you see?
I mean, I intend to tell the mistress about what happened, including my involvement, yes?
You could, just as a suggestion, you could lie maybe and say like, or maybe steer the truth and say like, are you sure you want to risk including your involvement? Because she might see you as a threat now or something.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yes. That, but in Illona voice.
Okay.
Explain.
Deli,
I have,
explain.
he will elaborate. I have always been loyal to my employers, and my mistress knows that.
As an elaboration, you could say like, well, you you've been, you could say like, oh, you seem to have been quite so you have helped. So in the case of the Amazon, for example, how can I put it into words? It's like so for the Amazon situation, it's like, oh yeah, well, he was quite we're quite volatile, which is something that he would describe to Ophelia. because we are quite a chaotic neutral and like volatile group.
Yeah.
He went along with it and didn't try and stop us from doing the more questionable things. So does that make him?
Yeah, he cleared up our mess. He's like enabling. He's the
He's
problem,
enabling
not
it. Yeah,
us.
he's an enabler.
Wow.
Does he secret? He's such a stoic guy. Is he hiding something that we have like brought out from him? That is like, oh yeah, you're kind of a bad guy actually, or you love the chaos. Can you be trusted? Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. You know the chaos and you love it. Yeah. You know
Yeah.
the chaos. What am I? The
You're
other
like
way
the
around.
Yeah.
If you want, you can roll me a clever for that, but I do have
Yeah.
counter arguments, if that makes sense. Well, rebobs, you know.
Okay, I'll do clever. Ooh, 3.
Ooh, 3.
Do you?
It's not terrible.
Do you want to keep that? The difficulty I had in mind was 4.
You could sorry, not to play the game for you. I was just going to suggest if you wanted to use the fate point, I was going to see what your aspects were.
Honestly, I thought of using the birthday inspiration. I've been having that for a while.
You could do that.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Rebob, you rattle him a little, but I'll still deliver the counter argument. It's just that he does not seem sure when he says it, if that makes sense. Okay? He says, I told you all I did was try to not be involved and keep the peace. Obviously, the mistress does not want to be involved in a slave uprising. Involved by virtue of me being associated with her. You get what I mean?
Yeah. As a suggestion, is Rebob technically a slave?
I think he should get perhaps a word, and he would ask, why?
Oh.
What are you so afraid of? It's not like you're directly responsible for that mess.
I would rather see you not lived so controlled and actually have some integrity. Be your own person.
The honest and what's the word for integrity? The integral, I guess. Yeah, the honest and integral thing to do would be to fulfill my duty and report what happened.
And put yourself in the dirt for it. You're really shooting yourself in the foot here.
I'm used to it.
Okay, by this point, I feel like I just want to like flash the gun at him and be like, "You don't say a word," and then use my stunt. Must have been the wind, and hopefully just like leave him with the. Oh, I feel bad about this.
Well, must have been the wind. How does must have been the wind help you? Let me check.
Perform an immoral act and be blameless.
Maybe you can do it for the killing of the Amazon.
The must have been the wind says after performing the act, you will be blameless. TLDR. It does not mean that the act itself will be successful. That will still require a roll. It's just that you will not be blamed for it. So, hypothetically, you may flash your gun at Rebob, but he may just react with, like, what's that little pea shooter gonna do?
Okay.
And
Can she do it for the act of killing her itself? Or is it too late by now?
Oh, I have an idea.
Killing who? Killing who?
The Amazon.
Ah.
Yeah. Technically, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to say anything else. But here, I have an idea. Okay. How about Illona turns into Illona cat? Be like, you really want to do this? Like, really feel in the moment. Be present with it. How do you feel about it? She quickly turns into Illona cat, scare the bejeebers out of him, and then be like, it wasn't me. I'm not the cat. You know?
I like that.
Because again, you're still at the beginning of discovering this power. I would require, I guess, a careful roll to see if you would actually manage to transform into Illona cat.
Heck yeah. Okay. Wish me luck. Careful, you said, right?
I think so, because you're trying to repeat the steps that led you to transform the last time.
Come on now. Come. Oh, 3? 3? Is that enough?
Yes, but again, for only a couple seconds.
Okay. So
happens?
Illona would be like, I really think you should think of how you feel about this. Like, really fill in what is right to do. What do you feel like when you're picturing yourself telling the Ophelia about everything about this? And then she would turn into a Illona cat, like, bam! Meow.
Do Anghel and Muninn see this?
Are we here for this entire conversation?
It's happening in the stables, so
I feel like Muninn would probably have been eavesdropping. Probably.
And we don't know about the Amazon, right? So Anghel is just... He's not sure what is happening, but I guess he does see it, yes.
Okay.
Like, he's not sure why she's so intent on...
Okay.
So I guess maybe he thinks, something is afoot, but...
Let me roll something for Rebob.
No.
What's his... I think that was his thing. Okay. I was rolling his forceful to see if you gave him a heart attack or not.
Oh, okay.
You did not, thankfully.
Would have been kind of badass just killing someone, but...
I mean, sure. Yeah, you briefly turn into Illona cat and scare the living crap out of Rebob. You're using then must have been the wind stunt to like have it, shift the blame that it's not you.
Yeah.
Um,
And like that I'm as usual, I'm as normal as ever. But like, yeah. The feeling was there was cat. Ew.
Oh, I guess because it is your stunt. Unless you want to specifically, Ashen, because of the stunt, even if Anghel and Muninn are directly looking at you, they won't. They are also victim to it, so they would not see cat is Illona. But up to you.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Nobody know.
Okay. Yeah. Rebob lets out the most panicked scream you've ever heard, and that's saying something from him. And I think he runs backwards and slams into the stable wall, still screaming. Okay, and I think because of the ruckus, the door of the carriage will open as Hakim, Ophelia's other bodyguard, will like step out, gun in hand, like to see what's going on.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, and he just sees Rebob screaming and says, "What happened?" Illona, you're back to normal above board.
Yeah, is he talking to us or to Rebob?
And we didn't see anything, right? Supposedly?
You maybe saw the cat, but the thing is, you don't.
But we don't know that it's Illona. Okay.
Yeah, you don't make that connection. Yeah.
There was a cat.
Yeah. I think there was the cat who scared him last time and passed by again.
Mm.
Oh, for fuck's sake. And he says something to the inside of the carriage, and seems you hear Ophelia's voice say something, and Hakim seems disappointed by what Ophelia says. Feel free to give me a careful if you want to listen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, baby.
2.
A 4, a 6, an 8.
With a 4, a 2. Illona and Anghel, I don't think you hear all of the conversation, but Muninn, I think you do. Hakim said, I think we ought to kill him. And Ophelia said, "No, don't."
So
I was guessing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh my god.
And Hakim seems disappointed that he cannot kill Rebob yet. Anyway,
Well, what a nice guy.
I mean, yeah, he has never been nice to you all. What can I say? Either way, Hakim will turn back and say more loudly this time, "Our friends are here, mistress." And he and Ophelia will dismount the carriage to have a proper talk with you. Meanwhile, Rebob is once again weeping, his back to the stable wall. And I think, Deli, do you remember your compel? Obviously, keep it contextual, but keep it in mind.
Okay.
Ophelia will say, "Are we going?"
Yeah, I think we should probably get a move on. I mean, sorry, above board, what was the name of the person that hit her?
Her cousin, aka the prince of this country, Alexandros Adamos.
Yeah, and we're gonna go see him anyway, aren't we? Like that's the plan, isn't it?
I mean, that's sort of the payment that she promised you, that she'll give you basically an audience with him.
Okay, I'm just making sure before I say anything. Muninn would say, yeah, we should probably at your leisure, like we should probably get a move on. I can imagine you're probably a bit nervous to see your cousin again.
Why?
Oh, because he hit you.
It's such a little shit. Because he hit you.
Anghel looks at him like, "What did you just say?"
Anghel, you also saw that vision, but you...
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah,
he knows, but he's like, "What?"
Or rather, maybe Muninn wouldn't say that verbatim. Maybe is it alright
Now
to
you're
say something?
retconning it? Okay, go ahead.
No.
Is it okay? Is it okay for Muninn to say something like?
Go ahead.
Okay. Is it okay for Muninn to say something like, "Oh, because wasn't he violent to you?" Like rather than saying, "Did he hit you?" He was like, "He was violent to you, wasn't he?" Like, is that? Can I say that?
The compel was that you have to do it in a clumsy way.
Okay, so that was clumsy the first time. So
it was more clumsy, and I like it better.
okay, we'll do it. We'll go with
I
that
also
one.
like it better.
Yeah.
I mean, Muninn would like try and correct themselves and be like, I mean, he's generally quite. I've heard he's quite violent, quite a short-tempered man. Is he not?
Nevertheless, because of the compel and all that, I think you have made it known to Ophelia that you know, and it's just not just like your educated assumption.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
She narrows her eyes. Hakim looks at her and he seems surprised, and he readies himself to reach for his pistol if need be. And Ophelia says, "How much do you know, and how do you know it?"
As Muninn would struggle to answer that question, I think, and they would say, I would say that's about as much as I know. That's probably about as much as I know as far as information that I shouldn't know.
Give me a sneaky, and I'll oppose with her careful.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, a 3. That's not too bad.
Sorry, my mouse is acting up. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Is it... I'll roll her careful again to see if she lets something slip or not. Okay?
Okay.
She does not.
3.
Okay.
Oh.
With that, she says, Indeed. Are you certain?
Mm.
Perhaps you're right. I do not wish to visit my cousin again and be hit again. Perhaps this whole endeavor was just a mistake and we ought to turn back.
Oh,
And it gives Muninn a look like, what did you do?
yeah. Oh, pardon my loose tongue. I hope I didn't mean to offend you. I hope this, like, I wouldn't want us to what's the word? I don't want us to like cancel this our arrangement.
If you don't want to cancel, then tell me, how do you know?
I suppose Muninn would look to Anghel and Illona, because obviously you two know.
Well,
No, Illona, I don't think it was not.
Anghel, sorry, Anghel.
Yeah, Illona does not know.
Does Anghel know? Did Muninn and Anghel know that each other
saw it? I'm not sure. I don't think so. We didn't talk about it at all, I think.
Did we not?
So I think it's fair to say, like, after hearing Muninn say that, Anghel's like, oh, he knows it too, kind of. So I guess you can guess that you somehow got the same vision or something.
Okay.
How else would it? Or someone told you? I don't know. I guess he doesn't know exactly how you know.
Okay. The fact is that that wouldn't help unless you knew for certain that unless Anghel knew for certain that Muninn had the vision. I don't know if that helps me. What would Anghel make a look to Muninn? Do you think when Muninn turns around at all, or Illona too? I mean, if Illona has an opinion on this.
I don't know. Let me think for a
What
second.
kind of look? What kind of look are we talking about?
Any kind of look, like obviously Anghel was like, "What the hell's going on? Like, what have you done?"
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Is there anything else that he's sort of giving
Maybe he's
away,
looking
like,
at Muninn like a little confused and a little
I
like, what are you doing? I don't know.
okay.
Maybe he's signing to him even. What are you doing?
Muninn would sign accident.
Oopsie.
Yeah. And they would say to Ophelia, we unfortunately have a few sources. I mean, I believe it would be hard for us to explain our sources.
Try me.
So I'm debating whether or not just to tell her. But then obviously it's not
why
very
not?
characteristic. I mean, yeah, why not? But then at the same time,
I mean, also, if you want, feel free to roll me a careful, but I'll oppose with her sneaky, and her sneaky is very high.
okay. What's this for?
You'll see if you get it.
Okay.
Okay, you don't get it, and I don't think you can get it anyway.
Okay. Muninn would say, we have a few sources.
What sources? Come on, you can tell me.
Ooh, nah.
If they know me so well, apparently.
Well, they would. I'm so above board. I'm so nervous to say anything.
Anghel signs Acacius as he's trying to figure out how you know.
Muninn would nod.
Care to translate?
Oh wait, is Anghel saying Acacius to Muninn, as in like,
Yeah.
Is it Acacius? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and Ophelia is basically asking because she doesn't
Yeah.
read Angel's sign language. Care to translate what you just nodded to, basically?
Okay. I thought you were saying that as Teeironor.
No.
Today really is Delia Misunderstands Day. But Muninn would, before replying to Ophelia, Muninn would sign to Anghel, should reveal Acacius.
Anghel shrugs. He really couldn't care less.
Okay. Okay. I don't see. So this is Muninn talking, by the way. Okay. I believe it's not. I don't believe it's very beneficial to any of us for us to lie to you.
Of course it wouldn't be.
However, please take this with a grain of salt. You may or may not choose to believe this, but it is the truth. And my friends can vouch for me. So, sorry, what's it? What would Muninn like say as a title? Like, oh, like Her Majesty, or like my not Her Majesty. You know what I mean? Like,
Your Honor, or more so Lady Ophelia, because she doesn't have like an official court position anymore. She's just a noblewoman.
Okay, lady.
If you were a direct servant of her, like Hakim or Ribabar, you would call her your Excellency.
So, Muninn would say, Lady Ophelia, how familiar are you with old gods?
Well, you told me that you. Well, sorry, this is me, the DM, stumbling, not her. She would say, well, haven't we already established that you stirred up a whole nest of dead Rimlen because of them?
Yes. And the fact that we've already divulged that information, so you may make this easier for you to digest.
But you did not divulge the information from her.
She figured it out.
She knows it because the person that gave you that little quest is in her employ.
I see. In that case, Muninn would say, for myself, so the reason I know this particular piece of, unfortunately, know this piece of information, is because of my patron god, Acacius.
Patron. So you have outright decided to serve such an entity?
That is to be debated. But he is so far been the god that I've been turning to as of late. But I have not made the decision yet.
I see.
I mean, it makes sense. Scholar of knowledge, god of knowledge. We seem to be a good match, but
Anghel rolls his eyes in the back, but feel free to ignore it.
Then,
yeah.
May I ask a favor of you, and we'll let all this entire incident be water under the bridge?
Of course, Lady Ophelia.
You still have contact with the Rimlen, do you not? I would ask that you ask them to perform a favor that will help us both. There is a messenger heading south on the road that you all just came on. It is extremely important that that messenger not reach the Grand Vizier. Since the Rimlen are all pretty much on the road anyway, perhaps they ought to catch and restrain that messenger, whatever that may entail.
I will certainly ask this favor of the Rimlen people, but I will warn you, Lady Ophelia. They don't seem to listen to me.
Then I will warn
that
you
much.
as well. If that messenger reaches the Grand Vizier, you can not only forget about our renewed friendship, let's say, but you can also kiss your opportunity to see the prince goodbye. Not because I will not be willing to grant you to it, but because he may not be prince for much longer.
We know this. We know what is. I don't remember exactly what the circumstances are, but we know that the prince is.
If you're referring to the vision that you saw, the cinematic, the prince basically colluded with the Ziemi, which were the enemy of the Caramel until like a couple months ago, to basically have them suffer a defeat, a very important defeat. That does not mean necessarily that this particular message is what she's talking about. It could be, it could also not be. You just don't necessarily know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. If I'm a little bit quiet, it's because I'm trying to write notes.
Mhm.
But Muninn would nod and they would say like, "I understand. We will," and then they would like look to Anghel and Illona, and they would say, "We will do our best to convince these Rimlen people to fulfill this request for you."
Then I propose we depart after you ask. The sooner the better.
Of course, and then Muninn would like clear their throat, and then if assuming that they're allowed to, or like they've been dismissed or whatever, they would like turn slightly, not turn their back on Ophelia completely, but they would turn around and they would say like, let's go, everyone."
Does everyone go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of going,
I figured as much, Ashen. First question as usual, how should we play Illona? Like any special instructions? Anything.
I'll just say my usual: go ham.
Okay.
Go ham.
Second thing, as usual, can you talk about yourself and where the viewers may find you?
Sure. Sorry for interrupting the session like every time like this, but I'm Ash, and you can find me on Instagram where I paint sometimes.
She does great work. Highly recommend. Do you still do commissions?
Yeah, I do. I'm having time for a lot more right now, so.
Oh, that's
taking
awesome.
on
That's awesome.
more commissions.
Highly,
So feel free to.
I would highly recommend commissioning Ashen. She does great work. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very,
Great.
very much, Ashen. We will see you next week then.
Yeah. Thanks for the session, and good luck with the rest of it. See you guys.
See you later, Ashen.
Good night.
Night, Ashen. So, as you guys, I'm guessing, go to exit the stables, I guess you will see sort of in the back, Ophelia gives an order to Hakim, and Hakim goes to forcefully retrieve Rebob.
Oh boy.
But yeah, the three of you exit the stables to, do what you will.
One second.
Okay. Like we didn't ask what this messenger is or anything. We know that it, like Ophelia said, it's going to have the prince deposed or something.
Yeah. Whatever's in the message will stop the prince from being the prince.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like you said, I don't think we actually know for certain what that message was, right?
Yeah, okay.
I guess, so just to recap, so we need to ask the Rimlen people to stop this messenger from getting to where he needs to go, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess Angel's concerned with that because, I mean, losing the prince means losing his, like, the audience with the prince and everything. So, as far as he's concerned, yeah, sure.
Okay. Muninn would, in that case, in character, like RP wise, Muninn would say to everyone, like, as in Anghel, like, listen, I mean, you heard Ophelia, like, we need to stop that Courier. I think you two would. I think it would be a good idea if one of you two, as in pointing to Anghel and Illona, I think one of you two needs to speak to the Rimlen leader.
Before that, I think Illona would say, Muninn, what the fuck was that about her getting hit? Because Ilona's the only one who doesn't know.
Yeah. Anghel, you seem to know about that.
Angel shrugs.
Well,
like he's not sure. Like I guess we're at the point where we're not sure if we saw the same thing. Thing.
I guess Muninn would ask, because this is why Muninn asked Anghel. Am I right in thinking that you saw what I saw?
Angel signs maybe.
What made that be? I think Illona would ask.
Okay.
As usual, whenever I'm parroting Illona, feel free to intervene if you think, no, Illona would not do or say that.
I feel like Illona would.
Yeah.
Muninn would clarify or divulge, I guess. And they would say, well, I'm not sure how Anghel knows this, because Cassius told me, and I don't think Cassius would have told Anghel. I mean, unless that's...
Anghel shakes his head.
But I saw... Cassius showed me a vision of the prince in his... I hesitate because I don't know if that's really the right words to use, but chambers.
It was his command tent while he was on campaign.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, Muninn would say something like that. I guess Muninn would say, Cassius showed me a vision of the prince at a command table, and Lady Ophelia was there, and whatever they were planning, it ended up with the prince taking his anger out on Ophelia, which is why I mentioned that she was very clumsily mentioned that she was hit by him.
Illona would have this uncomfortable expression, the information that you've given her, I think, would be disturbing for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
If that's Muninn would Muninn would notice that, and they would say yeah, I don't like the sound of him either, like him as in the prince. It seemed Muninn would turn to Anghel and say it seemed like an overreaction, don't you think?
Why would you bring it up though? I think Illona would say.
I am not sure, actually. I think I just got nervous. And Muninn would genuinely seem not sure. I think it was a slip of the tongue, which isn't like me. I think I'm just nervous about everything that's happening recently. It was a slip of the tongue.
When you say isn't like me, she gives you a look like, are you sure it isn't like you? But says, I don't think she would say anything else.
Yeah.
Well,
Anghel just gives him a stink eye.
Well, I think Illona would say, maybe Anghel should do the talking with Aurelia. I'm not in the right headspace or something like that. Because above board, I don't want to like.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
like, okay, I do the talking, sure.
I feel like that makes sense because Illona was also a bit.
Yeah, I think she would give a different excuse, but yeah. I don't know. I have to go to the toilet or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess Anghel like kind of, prepares himself, I guess.
I was gonna say Muninn would say, "Oh, if you need any backup, I'm here," but no, Muninn wouldn't say that actually.
Well, Muninn has to perform the spell anyway, because they're the only one who knows how to.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of a way to assist Anghel that makes sense narratively, right? Because Muninn wouldn't back Anghel up because the Rimlen lady doesn't like Muninn, right? Would casting a spell be an assist, or do you think that was a massive step?
Whether you like it or not, because you're the one casting the spell, Aurelia will be aware that you're like listening. Unless you specifically try to hide your presence, which is like a technique you haven't learned yet.
Okay. Could, if I gave Anghel assist by saying like yeah or whatever,
Yeah, I guess
do
that
you
counts.
think that makes sense?
Yeah, I
Sorry?
guess that counts. Also, I guess a bit of like retrospective, kind of retconning, kind of. Whenever Aurelia contacted you, you also heard like another presence. Well, not heard, felt another presence with her. It was basically one of her auspices, aka one of her magicians who was casting the spell, but just like staying silent and letting his or her officers speak. He was just like acting as the telephone pole, basically.
That's interesting to note. I'm putting that in my notes. Okay, cool. In that case, Muninn would do whatever it is they need to do to include Anghel in the telephone call, and they would say like I'm on Anghel, like no pressure, but I'm ready when you are. I'll do what I can to I'll do what I can to support your claim, or to support you rather, but she doesn't like me.
Also, a small bit of above board information. It would require sacrifice of honey to ingenuity.
Honey?
Ooh.
Do we have honey?
Yes, you remember when totally.
Yeah, we got it, but we have a lot left.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I didn't know.
Maybe for like another 20 telephone calls or so.
Oh, okay, awesome. I'm trying to think. What are we trying? Like, how could we convince her though? That she needs to do this. Like, why would she? Do we make her care about the prince remaining the prince?
If you want, you can also give me a clever, or careful, I guess, to speculate.
Careful, I can do careful. Can Muninn also do, like Dely?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Because they have a better clever than I do.
What am I doing? Clever.
Yeah.
Clever to speculate what connection Aurelia has with the prince.
Yeah. That makes sense. Hey,
well, Aurelia has no connection with the prince because they're like all like over 1,000 years apart. But as to like the actual question of what can you like say to try to convince her, probably to like emphasize your admittedly very distant blood relation, because Aurelia seems to care about that.
Oh, about our relation.
Yeah, yours with her. Yeah.
Like Willa too, I guess, because it's the same blood.
Yeah. Also, I don't think Aurelia knows that you're trying to rescue your sister. Yeah, she definitely does not know, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell her that, I guess. And appeal to her sense of, I don't know, motherly
Family
something.
bond, I suppose. It's like the only sort of relatable, not relatable, but like empathetic trait that Aurelia has displayed. Well, that, and she doesn't like just spilling blood for the sake of it. She'll do it if need be, but she would rather not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And also, okay, he can tell her, like I was thinking to say that she doesn't have to kill him. She just has to restrain him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, or just destroy the message, assuming that the courier.
Oh,
hasn't
is the
already read
message
it.
I guess it's not like
You were
like
not
it's
told.
written
You were
somewhere.
not told whether it's written or oral.
Yeah.
If it is written, and it
Then
is
yeah, we can
sealed,
totally destroy it.
yeah. You would
Unless
also have
he
to,
knows what it is. I don't know.
yeah,
guess
you would
it's
have to
not.
make sure that it's sealed, right? You'd have to be like, do you know what's in this letter? And if he goes, no, I swear, then
Then he
that's
could
when
be
you-
lying, but okay. Sure. All right. Let's do this. Ugh.
All right. What's the like? What's the like opening line of this communic? Well, actually, no. Before that, Muninn, as you're casting a spell, can I get a forceful from you?
Yes. A 3.
You feel some heavy resistance as you try to cast it, and you feel that the connection is tenuous, especially as like the monks continue singing in the back, not singing, but like chanting in the background.
Shit.
The connection will be fairly choppy, but it's there.
Can we move away or is it too late?
You can move away, but it would mean casting the spell again, aka spending more of your honey.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with doing that, but it depends how much honey we have, I guess. If this is like the second, like if the next honey that we use is the last pot of honey that we have or something, then obviously.
Teeironor said 20 more times we can use it.
About 20 more times.
Oh. Okay, in that case, I mean, I'm fine with moving.
Yeah. I mean, Anghel wouldn't know the reason for this because he hasn't figured it out, but I guess Muninn could.
Okay. In that case, Muninn would sever the connection, and they would say, the chanting is causing the connection to be like unstable. We need to move, Anghel. And then they would say, come, let's go somewhere a bit more quiet.
Okay, Anghel agrees. He's like, oh, and he looks at the monks and maybe things fall into place in his mind. I don't know.
Okay.
Your choice. Well, yeah. Okay. I'm guessing you move like more towards the forest, like outside of quote unquote civilization, to perform the spell. Do you do so?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. As you move, I guess arguably 3 things will happen as you eventually move into the forest. First thing, I think, Muninn, don't know why, but sort of like just the fact that Anghel is with you, like, sort of just makes you feel like, yeah, I can like overcome this and like face the dragon and all that. Yeah, it'll be all right. With Anghel by my side, yeah.
That's interesting.
And second thing, sort of like seamlessly, sort of almost like appearing from behind a tree, almost like walking to like seamlessly rejoin your party. You see always Thirsty and the horse. They don't like exhibit any whatchamacallit, outward displays of, yeah, we were missing for a while. It's just like they're acting like they were always there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
As they like fall in step behind Anghel.
Angel's like, where have you been?
You ask always firsty?
Yeah.
Here, my prince.
What were you doing here?
Following you? Looks confused.
Angel looks behind him, and
sorry, maybe I didn't describe it right. They would appear behind you because normally they follow behind you. So.
Oh, okay. So Angel kind of looks. Yeah, I don't know if he's smart enough to figure this out, but Muninn did tell him that the chanting was making the connection bad. Yeah, maybe kind of, at least at the surface, he kind of realizes something might have happened. He's like, oh, okay.
Up to you. Entirely up to you. Always Firsty and the horse have a confused expression, sort of like, why are you acting up? Nothing happened.
Angel signs, you're okay though, right?
Are we supposed not to be?
No.
I'm pretty thirsty, but
that's fine. I know.
Yeah, they look at you like with mild confusion.
Okay, Angel turns away from them, and I guess he prepared for the conversation.
Yeah, they would follow along. So, Muninn, Deli, does Muninn cast a spell?
Yes.
Okie dokie. Let me real brief. Once again, change the background music. So, once again, as you reach out to Aurelia, this time, there's still like a very slight obstacle because the monks are still somewhat nearby, and this was a holy place, but it's nowhere near as bad as when you were near the stables, and you are able to overcome and no roll required. It's just that you feel like a very slight obstacle there. Make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The connection is thus made.
All right. So Angel can talk freely here?
I think we established that, yeah. Because it's in your mind.
Yeah. How does he call Aurelia? I don't know. Have we established what we call her?
I don't think Anghel has ever addressed her directly like, "Hey you" or whatever. Yeah.
Hey you. We know she's a general, right? And
she has not given you her rank. Not that you've ever asked, but she has not given you it.
How do we call her?
You've never like said "Hey Aurelia" or whatever before, so yeah,
okay, maybe like excuse me, hello.
Okay, yeah, you convey that, and you hear her reply, "Yes, blood of my blood, and barbarian." Where's the other one? Meaning Illona.
Yeah, I get that. I was not sure if she went to the toilet at the end or not. She's not here.
Safe though, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right. What is it?
So, oh god, how do we broach this? So, remember when we asked you for a favor? Now we need another one. Maybe I should start with... maybe... Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. there was something I needed to tell you.
All right.
This is stupid.
Mm.
I have a sister.
You get
she's
you get the inkling that she's listening.
Okay. She's the only one left of my family. And she's been kidnapped and I need to save her.
Where is she then?
On a ship. She's been taken.
Do you know if the ship is on a river or on the sea?
I think on the sea.
Above the sea. Above the sea, yeah.
On a sea.
That
but
would
right
be
now
southeast from here. I don't know the lay of the land as well as I would like, to be honest. Do you want us to go and rescue her?
Oh god, that's kind of tempting, you know? But I think that's probably I don't know what to think about that.
Above board, your sister and the rampaging slaves are in opposite directions.
Oh yeah, that would take that away from her. Okay, I guess Anghel with I guess it's kind of like his sense of Prince Charming and his caring for his sister kind of is worrying at this. I guess because as Prince Charming, he would kind of want.
Not necessarily. Your Prince Charming sense is to help the needy, including the princess, which is how Prince Charming sees Anghel's sister.
Really? Okay. Cool.
So they are both maybe not necessarily equally important, but they're both important to Prince Charming.
Yeah, but on a scale, like in terms of scale, we know that the armies
on a terms of scale, the rampaging slaves are the more immediate threat. So Prince Charming would prefer that, but Prince Charming would, also cares about the princess.
Okay, so Anghel says, I think I can take care of it for now. So we keep our options open if things go south.
All right. Tell me if we can help with that.
I will, but that's exactly why I'm calling. The one who can help me with this is the prince, who's currently controlling.
Prince of what?
Prince of what? What do we call him?
The country's name is Bogdania, but obviously you can say this country because she would not know the term Bogdania.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. The prince of this country. He's the ruler.
All right.
And he can help me get her back.
Do you know that for certain?
No. I'm hoping.
May I ask, what do you base this hope on?
I'm thinking now, that was we knew it wasn't the right answer, like the best answer, but it was the only thing we kind of had, right?
No, if you're talking about the very first sessions of the campaign when you had the choice of either going directly after the sister or going after the prince, I explained it in the way of basically caramel soldier.
That's 10% more or something.
Yeah, it's like asking the prince is a 20% chance of success. Going directly is a 10% chance. Probably less. Because you'd have going directly after the sister has a bunch of risks with travel, with maybe you'll also be taken as a slave, and also you may not have necessarily the money or the right means to rescue her. Meanwhile, the prince can directly intervene because kidnapping his subjects is illegal under Caramel law. Obviously, Caramel law doesn't matter to all people as much as it should, but he can like raise a ruckus and say, "Hey, this subject of mine was kidnapped. Give it back."
Right. But now she really makes me like question this whole like it was so obvious for so long that we were going for the to the prince, we're going to the prince, and I'm like, I mean, now with the vision, we also know that the prince betrayed the colonel, right?
Yes and no. Like he betrayed them that one time, but he is still a subject to them and like continues to intend to be a subject to them. Like the reason he betrayed them that one time was that if they were too successful, they might like, well, what do we need you anymore? If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I remember that. Okay. So actually, like now I'm not sure why Angus like so. Oh, I can take care of it. I'll go to the prince. Like 20% chance of success is it?
Well, obviously that was just me like barfing out a number to like give you a general idea. Not
Huh. Well, maybe Angus says no. It's not. It's not certain, but it's and just I'm keeping my options open. You know.
I suppose having the aid of the local ruler would be important.
Yes, exactly. But he won't be the ruler for much longer because there's a messenger on his way to where? To the caramel?
To the Grand Vizier specifically.
To the Grand Vizier. Oh God, how do I explain that to her?
To
an ally ruler.
He's like the second most important person in the Caramel Empire, basically the equivalent of a prime minister. I don't know how Aurelia would interpret that. You can just explain like an important official.
There's a messenger on his way to an important official that might cause the prince to be thrown. I don't know. How do you say
dethroned?
What's the term? Dethroned. Okay. And we need to stop that from happening. We need to stop the messenger. Stop.
I can see that there is an important, although poorly made road close to our encampment. Are you saying the messenger will pass by that road?
Is that what we're saying?
That's what Ophelia more or less implied?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Muninn would nod as well, if that's helpful.
All right, so you would have us stake out the road to capture or kill this messenger?
Yeah, if you can help it, like don't kill him if you don't have to.
What about
make sure them.
What about the slave army?
Is it in any way on the way? Close by?
Whom are you asking? Me or you?
You.
You don't know?
That was above board, sorry.
Above board,
we
you don't know?
We need to stop that too, of course, but I don't know. You said that you didn't know yet what your decision was.
Correct, but if we're staking out the road, obviously we cannot go to the city that Cassius mentioned or chasing after this slave army. Above board, if you don't remember, Cassius told them, hey, basically go to this city to the north and to the west. Probably St. Paris. You don't
We're thinking, yeah.
You don't know for certain because there will be a big battle there.
Right. But that I don't... Oh, do we... What big battle? Do we need her there? I don't know anymore. What are my priorities?
Good question.
What big battle? Okay, we'll deal with a big battle. I don't know.
I mean, feel free to give me a clever if you want.
Okay, but
Muninn can also roll clever because they're also listening.
3. More than I expect.
Is this a learned thing or is this
no?
No, okay.
This is putting the pieces together.
Okay.
Anghel, you get a feeling. Muninn, you're more certain. Like if it's a battle, the only there's basically more or less three options. Either like an uprising, which kind of seems like out of left field, or there's like an opposing military force, so the prince's forces, but like who would they be battling? Or perhaps more likely, the slaves who are like, well, liberated slaves, self-liberated slaves who are rampaging.
All right. So if that's going to be the case, then they can meet them at St. Paris. So I guess. Although it would be better for them to try to stop them before, I guess. But you said they went to the south and then they're going to end up at St. Paris, maybe?
I guess that's what I said, yeah. They did go to the south, and there's a possibility that they'll end up at St. Paris, yeah.
Which is to the north, though. Like they're going to...
More west than north, but yeah.
Okay.
There's... You guys are following, like, arguably the main road that leads to St. Paris, but there are lots of roads that lead to St. Paris.
Mm-hmm. All right. I mean, don't know exactly what this message is, but if it gets to... But according to Ophelia, if it gets to the vizier, the Grand Vizier, then the prince will no longer be the prince.
That's what Ophelia implied, yeah.
This is a hard decision to make. I don't know what to do.
If you need help making a decision, to clarify what your option. So are you deciding not to, rather debating not to stop the courier?
Yeah, because, there's only like one army on our side right now. And there are like 3 potential places they need to be or something. Like either to go to St. Paris or somewhere in the northwest. I don't know.
You can give me a clever to see another option that may hit 2 birds with 1 stone, but it's also risky.
Like 2 birds with 1 stone is, so far is like St. Paris. Oh, fuck. St. Paris.
Do you want to keep that roll?
What can we do?
If not, would Muninn come to the same conclusion?
Muninn, you're on the line. You hear everything that's happening, so you can also roll, sure.
Okay. I thought that worked, but it didn't for some reason. There we are.
Okay.
A 5.
Anghel, you're feeling hopelessly lost. Muninn, with that clever... Well, the way Ophelia, talked about it, it's likely that this courier would be, heading to the Grand Vizier, along the same road that you guys came along on your adventure, which, the Rimlen would, you can ask perhaps the Rimlen to go to St. Paris via this same road. The downsides of that is, that this road is very, very populated, so, that's a big danger. And there's also a chance that, obviously, they will still miss the courier if, for whatever reason, the courier decides to, take a slightly different path at whatever point, or who knows what may happen. So
yeah, but that could happen anyway. We don't know for sure where it goes anyway, right?
Certainly. So, obviously, this option of, having the Rimlen, follow the same road that we did to go to St. Paris, is riskier. Well, obviously would hit 2 birds with 1 stone potentially, aka the St. Paris thing and the courier thing, but is riskier because you're putting a lot of innocent people in danger, and you may also miss the courier, and it's debatable whether it's the fastest road to St. Paris.
Okay.
All right.
Muninn would.
So
Muninn would convey this to Anghel. And by the way, because obviously
Okay.
Muninn was the one that sort of right.
Yeah. Okay. What I'm thinking above board. Is there a way to get to St. Paris that is not like what's the most not populated way, or like the least danger will be posed to innocent people?
Through the woodlands and through basically avoiding the main road, which is obviously definitely possible. The issue would be moving an army through forest is much different than moving the three of you. Like it will 100% be much slower. There will definitely be supply issues, and
Damn it.
it's possible. It's just more difficult, slower, and Aurelia did say, I don't really know the geography that well.
Yeah, but okay. And damn it, what can we do? And where is there a road that's like it's a road, but it's less populated? Is there such a thing?
There's not
like what happens? What happens if they go like they kill people on the way?
I mean, you, Anghel, are very keenly aware of what may happen when an army marches down a road and encounters civilians.
Okay, fine.
That said, you don't know if the Rimlen practice like the same slavery that the Caramel do or anything like that. But nevertheless,
what do they need slave for? They don't even have food enough for themselves.
Nevertheless, there are other dangers than just them potentially trying to enslave the populace. Because, yeah, they're like innocent people, not innocent, but like civilians don't take kindly to just an army showing up and like potentially threatening them.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
I'm kind of happy to hear that. I enjoy the fact that it's not an easy decision.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. Like, the safest route is to go through the forest, but that will take so long that it's like they probably won't make it to St. Paris anyway in time for anything. And then what did we accomplish?
And going through the forest will almost certainly mean that they will miss the courier.
Right.
Could they
Can they send people? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that. I don't know if I'm retreading. I don't know if I'm repeating anything, but could they not send a small team, like of 1 or 2 people, to catch the courier?
On the road, yes.
Yeah, they could do that, couldn't they? Because the courier was only one guy, potentially, anyway.
Also, I'm sure that there are a lot of messengers on the way, right?
Yeah,
like, how do they even know?
Yeah, Ophelia did not describe this messenger.
Yeah, how do they know who it is? We don't know the message. We don't know the messenger. Oh, God. We should have asked for details.
That's a horrible oversight.
Oh, fuck. It's unfortunate that Illona is not here, because Illona knows a pretty crucial piece of information that neither of the two of you don't. Illona knows that
because of the vision?
Because of her vision, that she received last night. She knows that the Caramel sent a cavalry squadron to investigate like the killing that you guys performed, which most likely will also follow this road.
The road that we followed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
That if, for whatever reason, the Rimlen are on that road, they'll encounter this cavalry squadron.
This is very tough.
Is there a possibility of sending a small party of them to stick the road, or is that not? Like, is that even like a thing that Anghel can ask for?
Yeah, I don't see why he couldn't ask.
I don't know if that's a thing that armies do.
Of course it is. I mean, even if you don't have military experience, Anghel, your village had plenty of bandits who had teams like staking out the road and then calling out to the main people like, hey, some rich people are coming, let's rob them. Like, your village was actually pretty well known for its banditry.
Okay, this is my proposal, Anghel says, in his mind. I think it would be best if the main force of you will head to the city that I guess he's told you about.
She indicates that she's listening.
And maybe you can send a small party to stake out the road. I don't know which road I decided. What road did she mention before? That it's likely that it's there or something? That was the same road that we took?
The messenger, you mean? Well, you're asking which road is the messenger likely to take?
Yeah.
Yes, it would likely be the same road that you guys have taken, which is where Aurelia's people are currently nearby.
Okay. And can a small party of you maybe, stake the road for the messenger? Is that a possibility?
Certainly. I would have to leave someone that I trust behind to do so, but it can be done. Do you have a description of this messenger?
It's so stupid. Why did you think to ask?
I don't know what to do in this situation. I mean, in theory, we could be like, oh, it won't look really good. It won't look very professional.
It looks really stupid.
We could be like, oh, no, but we'll just get the...
Does Muninn need to be actively there to maintain this connection?
Yeah.
Can... Oh, maybe you can send Always Thirsty? While Anghel is having this communication, he can't talk to anyone outside, can he?
You can. It's just that whatever you say will also be conveyed.
Okay, but he's talking in sign language. Can he do that?
Yeah, but the
thoughts will be conveyed, I guess.
I guess if Muninn decides that, if Anghel's thoughts ought to be conveyed in this situation.
Wait, so I can put Anghel on mute.
Mute.
Yep.
Okay. I guess Muninn would do that. I mean, like, Anghel would have to. Obviously, Muninn would look at Anghel to be like, "Oh shit! I just realized I don't know what he looks, the courier looks like." And then,
why did I feel that thing to tell us?
I don't.
It's we're stupid, but she's not.
I don't think she did she? I just don't remember. I don't know why I didn't ask. Anyway, Muninn would ask Anghel like, "Oh, we should probably send someone to ask."
Yeah, Anghel nods. And if I mean, can Muninn entertain her in the meantime or something? Well, Anghel just signs to Always Thirsty to ask Ophelia. Oh shit! Wait, no, but the things are there. The chanting is there.
Oh my god! This is such a horrible situation. Can Anghel not like leave the call? I'll maintain.
He can,
the call.
but he won't have any way to communicate.
He can rejoin later, but yeah.
No, communicate with Ophelia.
Oh yeah.
You won't have a translator. You won't have. I guess
oh
you can
my
have
god!
We can say Illona's done pooping if you want.
Okay, all right.
Awesome.
We'll do it that way.
All right.
that was such a puzzle, like of like, how are we gonna do this?
Seriously. Okay, so I don't know how we convey that to each other or whatever, but Anghel, like, I guess I don't know, disconnects for the moment.
Sure.
It's like, oh, you asked what he looks like? Well, just a moment. And then
Yeah.
And he, I guess, goes with Illona. Oh, I guess we could send Illona. It doesn't have to go with her.
Yeah, I guess
Jackie.
in hindsight, we can say that Illona didn't go away. She was just with you guys because we never really established what she was busy with.
Or she just
yeah.
came back right now and we told her to go. I don't care. Like,
Sure.
or
Yeah.
something.
Either way, she was not listening in on the conversation.
Yeah. So Anghel, like, he just needs to be in mute, and he signs to her. Ask Ophelia what the messenger is supposed to look like.
Illona nods and rushes to ask Ophelia.
This is so stupid. I blame Ophelia for this.
Go and entertain Aurelia for like 10 minutes until Illona gets back.
Well, entertain.
I
guess-
it's funny.
Entertain, not in the sense of haha, make her laugh.
Yeah, I
Entertain-
know. To talk to her.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to talk about. I mean, she just asked a question. I'm trying to think what. Well, about that.
Yes.
We're just gathering the details.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Will that take long?
No, not very long. I hope.
You could be like, Muninn wouldn't say it. But you could be like, oh, we wanted to phone you as soon as we could, or like we wanted to make contact with you as soon as we found out, or something. Which is why we don't have the info yet.
I guess. We just wanted to make sure that it was a possibility before we went into the details.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I am still undecided on whether to head to St. Paris at all, but just capturing this messenger should be simple enough if I have a description.
Yeah, all right. That sounds fine. What did we establish were the reasons why she didn't want to go to St. Paris? Because why is she even interested? Like, why would Acacia think she would be interested in a big battle?
It's Aurelia told you before that, hey, Nictelius wants me to go there. I don't want to listen to
Nictelius. Right.
I don't want to listen to Nictelius. Nictelius made it clear that she wants the Rimlen there because, chaos.
Right.
So Aurelia asked you guys, hey, what do you think about this request? Okay, I agree. It sounds dumb. I'm not gonna go. But then,
we told her not to go.
but then Acacius came in and asked the same request, and Aurelia contacted you and said, two gods asking me the same thing is very unusual. That I don't like the gods, but that just seems like I shouldn't ignore this request. So what's your input, basically? And the sort of end result of that was, I need to find out some more information, and then I'll let you know as soon as possible whether I'm going or not.
Okay. And we don't really have much more information to give her, right? Like, if we're thinking that it's the slaves possibly fighting the prince's army,
Yeah.
what stake does she have in that? Why does she care?
Good question. I guess, would she be proud? Would she want the prince's army or whatever to be potentially destroyed by slaves, right?
Does she care?
Above board, the prince, both of you would know this. The prince, unlike the Caramel Empire, doesn't really have a big standing army. He has a couple hundred permanent guard soldiers, but the army is okay. Everyone, we're going to war. Come on, let's go. As he gathers up all the a lot of people from the villages.
So maybe we can make the argument like, what does she, like, really wants to live in peace, doesn't she, or something?
She wants to ensure the safety of her subordinates.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe we can make an argument like, if the prince is killed, there will be chaos, and you won't live it. Like, you won't be able to
Ensure your own safety.
Be safe. Like, there will be chaos and fighting everywhere. I don't know, actually, what will happen. Like, the caramel will probably take over. I don't know. Although, if the slaves win against the prince, I'll be insane. Oh. Okay, we can maybe make the argument of, like, if the slaves, like, we've come to the conclusion that maybe the slaves are on the way there, and if they manage to win, kill the prince and take over, they're just going to, like, they promised they would drive this whole world into hell. I don't know how they phrased it exactly, how Colonel phrased it.
That is sort of what they were saying, wasn't it? If I remember correctly.
Cornell and Inyos basically said that they would, like, set the world on fire.
Oh, she also doesn't like Inyalius, right? She knows about him.
I don't think you know that as much, unless you're referring to, like,
right. I'm referring to the book. No, but I'm just saying that maybe it can actually convince her. Like, I know that Anghel wouldn't know that. That maybe, telling her, oh, Inyalius wants to, spread his war everywhere. That is what will happen if no one stands in the way of his army, basically. And so you won't be safe anywhere. Does that sound stupid?
I will not comment.
I don't know what to make of that. Okay, I guess we can try.
I will not comment because it's giving you hints and or spoilers, and that's
I get that completely. I guess I was asking Deli what they thought. Not if it's a good idea or not, just generally. I mean, not if it's gonna work or not. Generally, if it's...
I am not sure.
Why you think it's...
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not entirely. I mean, I guess.
I mean, do you think it's going to be bad if we bring it up? This kind of argument?
Maybe, but it depends.
Like in what way?
I don't know.
What are you afraid of? I'm trying to understand.
I know I'm not being very helpful. I just I have no idea. Because I feel like it's quite because the thing is like the Rimlen seem quite for themselves, right, at the moment. So I feel like getting them to do anything is hard.
Hard, but is it going to be like, I think what I'm afraid of is that, I don't know. First, that they won't actually make it to St. Pierre's if they go through the woods. Secondly, that it's not going to actually help, even if they do decide to do it, and it's just maybe will make things worse. I don't know. But we don't have any other way to deal with this in Inyalius and Cornell. I feel like.
Yeah. No, we don't have a lot of options, do we?
I mean, there are other armies in the world. What can I say? It's just that that's like a big geopolitical nightmare.
Yeah. And now we can get to them. I mean, we have access to this army.
True.
Okay, what happens if I actually, if Anghel actually conveys that thought? Like, he says, we gathered the whole thing about, we gathered some information. The army that we told you about is heading to the same place. Probably, we don't know, but we think it's heading to the same place that you were told to head to by Cassius and Victelius and stuff. And this army is. Did we tell her it was in Yalos
No.
before? So tell her that it's Yalos' army, and that he wants to spread war everywhere, and that they won't be safe.
Slow down.
If nothing's done about them.
That's a lot of information to take in, child.
I was asking if I should say all this, but okay.
Also, Baboshi does not say child in the like patronizing way that Acacius is.
Yeah, I feel that. Okay.
Says, all right, I'm not a. I don't hold Enyalios in much regard, but I'm not his enemy either. It's useful information, and I thank you for it. It's just that I would like to know more about the other forces in this land as well. For instance, if I march through the forest, am I leaving my back open to an attack from who knows what?
Does Anghel know that? Know anything about that?
A little bit, but it's mostly speculation. Like, you know that obviously there's the big Caramel army, not close but also not far. The area near your village is also home to a Nogi who occasionally go raiding, aka like what happened like episode 3 or 4.
So I guess Anghel tells her like about the things he knows.
She would reply with, that's helpful, certainly. I think I will talk one more time with a friend. She does not elaborate. And I think I'll have a decision within a couple hours at most on the heading to the city part.
Okay, that's fair. Anghel says.
I think because you took time explaining stuff, I think it would be enough time for Illona to get back.
Yay.
She says, Ophelia's not sure. She thinks there's 4 possible messengers, but maybe more.
What? On the same road?
Oh
or
my
are they
God.
going different ways?
Illona shrugs and says, "No, Ophelia said that there's only one messenger. She just doesn't know which person will be the messenger."
Okay, 4 options for who it is.
It's either I can give 4 descriptions if you want.
Yeah, why not?
Either a tall, strong, like muscly woman with a headscarf. There's.
Oh, we met her? Maybe? No? Okay.
Give me a careful if you want. Muninn can roll careful too.
I mean, the lady we met was who was she? I don't remember. Was she Caramel?
Which one? There's a lot of ladies you've met.
There was one who was a soldier, who was with.
Oh, the one who. Oh,
yeah, I guess it's not her then.
Well, you've already seen her. Like she's already with the Grand Vizier. She's the Grand Vizier's guard. Like you've seen her in your visions.
Right. Yeah.
Muninn, you're not.
Yeah, I didn't think it was her, but I don't know.
Muninn, you're not sure. Anghel, with that careful, you think of like the vision that the monk showed you. Acacius showed to Muninn, and you think of the one other lady who was in the Prince's Council, who was the one who was like sort of the snitch that told, Ophelia's rival about the events in the council.
Right.
I'll put her on screen just for convenience's sake. But yeah, where is she? Yeah, this lady.
Who was Ophelia's rival again?
It would be. Just give me a second to find him. this person that she met in the like one village she stopped at.
Okay. So she's one of them, potentially.
Illona would continue. Or there's apparently a short man wearing chainmail, but if he goes, he'll be going with a squadron of cavalry, like caramel cavalry.
Oh boy. How big?
Probably around 20 people or so.
Oh boy. Okay.
Above board, you don't know like any person like that, so no need to roll careful. Then apparently, I don't think I brought this up, but when we left Ophelia, I got this weird smell coming from the woman that was with the bearded fellow that Ophelia was talking with. Ophelia was basically saying that there will be one of the messengers may be this shorter woman who's her breath.
Smell of blood. Right?
Yeah, her breath will smell of blood, which will be news to Anghel and Muninn, but not to Illona, obviously.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'll put this person on screen too, if you allow me. Yeah, this person. Then Illona would continue. Last choice is a bearded elderly man in priestly clothes, which I know doesn't say much, but you've met plenty of elderly bearded priests. But apparently this one will be a poor rider, and you'll be able to tell.
A poor rider. Okay. All right. So, I mean, and the rest, and other than the man with the cavalry, they all are supposed to go by themselves or have like movies?
I think so. The man of the cavalry will go with the cavalry because he's the commander of that cavalry.
Right.
Ophelia doesn't think the cavalry person is likely. She says that the guy with the beard will probably need those cavalrymen, so he probably won't send them away.
The guy with the beard?
This person.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. Okay. He's like the one sending the message? Oh.
That's what Ophelia sort of implied. She didn't say it out loud.
All right. And it makes sense.
This is Illona speaking. This is Illona speaking.
Oh, okay. All right. So Anghel conveys that.
So, sorry, before we carry on, who is the last person after the woman that smells of blood, or her breath smells of blood?
A bearded elderly priest, which is a very vague descriptor, but it'll be immediately apparent that he is a poor rider.
Poor rider. Okay.
Why would you send a poor rider to deliver a message? Okay.
Illona would answer the questions and say, I asked Ophelia the same thing. She says it's the only people that the bearded guy trusts.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay.
All right.
That makes sense.
So Anghel conveys that, if that's possible.
Sure. And Aurelia would say, well, if it's the cavalry, I can't just leave a handful of people behind to stop them. Well, I mean, obviously, I can just leave a handful of people behind to stop them, but if it will be the cavalry who pass, they will not be able to stop them.
So how many people can you spare? Ugh, I don't want it to be too big.
I hesitate to split my forces up. We are few enough in number as is. If I were to leave people behind, I would only leave a small handful because if they are few in number, they would be more difficult to notice.
Yeah. Okay. So if it does turn out to be the men with the cavalry, then I guess just don't tell your whoever you leave behind not to engage them.
All right.
Unless they found a way to just sneakily kill
All right.
the guy itself
Cavalry.
or something.
All right. I will do this for you but I would like to ask for something in return.
Okay.
It
all
it
right.
will not it will not be it will not be something as difficult as what you ask of me. Just sentimental for
I'm sorry.
sentimental's sake.
All right.
Can you tell me as much as you know, obviously, of your ancestors?
My ancestors? What? Above board, what does Anghel know about his ancestors?
Above board, kind of entirely up to you. Obviously, like, peasants especially don't have, like, a very long memory when it comes to their ancestors, but there are plenty of exceptions. Obviously, keeping track of your own genealogy is more of a thing for the nobility. But
Yeah.
again, there are also plenty of lower class, for lack of a better term, people who do remember, oh yeah, my, like, 500 years ago, my great, 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 great bunch of greats grandfather came and settled this village. Like, that's...
All right.
it's entirely possible that Anghel only knows up to his grandparents or even just his parents. And it's also entirely possible that he has this long memory of perhaps a heroic past of his ancestors.
But it could also be a lie, right?
I mean, you can lie to her, of course, but
No,
why?
I'm just saying it could also be maybe...
what Anghel knows to be a lie? Yeah, of
Yeah.
course it can, yeah. Or at least exaggerated, sure.
Mm. Well, mm, ugh, I don't know what to say.
Are you thinking about whether to tell her or not, or are you thinking about
No,
how
I don't think he
far-
minds telling her.
You're thinking about how far your family tree goes as far as Anghel
Yeah,
knows.
I'm thinking like he probably knows about like up to his grandparents, and then maybe he knows like some anecdote about some, I don't know, someone farther down the line
Fair enough.
or something.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So he can tell her that. I don't know the details, but
Yeah, sure. Feel free to like come up with those details or not. Entirely up to you. And the way you convey the information. And Oriel listens. Then you get the feeling that she listens attentively, and she still seems perhaps a little disappointed that like it only goes so far back. But she nevertheless says, "I thank you for telling me."
Ango shrugs and is like, "That's all I know." Well, I was wondering also like maybe he had a little bit of trouble talking about his parents, who died recently. How long has it been?
Like, maybe
A
close to 2 weeks since their death.
2 weeks.
Like the adventure has begun like around 8 days ago, so to say. But the death of Anghel's parents happened a little bit before that.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that maybe he doesn't elaborate on his parents. Maybe he talks about, although I don't know, were his grandparents also? Yeah, I haven't decided anything about that.
When we established Anghel's backstory we established that the soldiers killed Angel's parents, and I think maybe an uncle, but I'm not sure. We did not say anything about his grandparents dying in that event. So if they are dead,
I guess
probably happened before.
So I guess Anghel talks about mostly, like, maybe he mentions, the people who died, but he does that very briefly. And he talks more about those who died before, like, not at the attack.
I think Aurelia would say, I am sorry to hear about your own parents. It never gets easier, but you will have to deal with it eventually.
Thanks. I guess like, okay.
It is scant comfort, I know, but trust that at least there is someone who feels for you.
Well, that's kind of sweet. I don't know if Anghel says anything, but he does appreciate it.
Understandable. Is there anything else, or shall we end the communique and the session?
I think not. I mean, like, I think we should.
Okay. Obviously, we can skip past the goodbyes unless there's something specific you'd like to say. And obviously, if there's something specific, we can also leave it for next session. Up to you. Okay. Thoughts on today's episode, everyone?
Yeah, it was really good. I feel like there was a lot to, like, I don't know if there's, how do I put it? Like, today I took a lot of notes, and I don't know if that's because I don't know if that was me just taking more notes, or if there was more to sync your, like, to keep in mind for later. I feel like the latter is true. I feel like there's like so much stuff that today where we have to like, oh shit, we have to make sure this happens, and like, oh damn, like,
Yeah, there was a lot of maneuvering.
Yeah, like,
and future
like
events that
planning.
we like, guess about, but we don't know exactly what.
Though I will say whatever you, well, not just you, but whatever Aurelia also decides, and you, and however you phrase your arguments, will have a big impact on what is to come.
Yay!
Big
It's
does
always nice to know that the people who died because of us.
I was about to say big does not mean good or bad.
Yeah, I know.
I'm glad that we didn't have to fight the dragon today as well, by the way.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting you guys to.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I don't know. I trust in us, procrastinating.
Yeah. We've got a good. How do I put it? We've got a skill for that, basically.
Yeah.
Understandable.
What was it that we were talking about for I don't know how long? That we were making fun of?
What, today?
Yeah.
Oh, we were at the start of the session. At the start of the session, I think, is this what you meant?
With Rebob, maybe?
Yeah. Rebob was crying, and it was just a passing comment that Teeironor made. But then we dwelled on it for like 10 minutes, like, probably longer than that.
Like 15 by looking at the recording time.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you got to be thorough. You got to make sure you're turning over all the rocks and everything.
Sometimes doing prep work for this session, for this campaign, can be very, very easy sometimes, because legit there have been times, to like repeat the word excessively, where you guys have spent entire sessions in a row on a single sentence in my notes.
You know.
I don't mind.
Brilliant.
I don't mind. Set your own pace, and I'm glad the world is of interest to explore, for lack of a better term. But yeah. Poor Rebob, traumatized for life at this point. Like,
honestly.
I was very, very serious when I rolled for a potential heart attack. Cause
oh man. Now I'm thinking, like, retroactively, if Anghel should have felt something about that, about Reba being tortured. I don't know.
Yeah. Prince Charming has no input because Prince Charming was not there because the monks.
Oh, okay. Fair enough, I guess.
Yeah.
What else happened this session? I guess first things first. The monks unintentionally banishing Prince. I guess Prince Charming, Always Thirsty, and the horse.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. That was incredible. Like I don't know what it is about it, but that was like I was so intrigued by that. And the fact that they just
Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's funny how they came back like nothing happened, even though they were potentially like Thanos snapped out of existence by the chanting. I thought that was so interesting. I was like, oh my god. I still want to know if Anghel plugs his ears while chanting is happening, whether or not that would work.
I mean, if you remember much earlier in the campaign when you fought the first ogre, and the like crazy priest whose daughter may or may not fancy Anghel, he came by and like with like just like smacked the corpse of the ogre with his staff and it vanished.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's really cool. I mean, yeah.
I think I
like we've known that I mean, I didn't remember this case in particular, but just in general, we knew that there were two like opposing forces, I guess. But I guess I didn't like it's the new gods against the old gods, pretty much, right?
Ish.
Like the new faith and against the old.
It's better to say the new faith versus the old faith.
Yeah. But I don't know exactly where the dragon fits into this, because he's like an agent of fates, but apparently he's also like affected by the new faith.
You can infer that the dragon, being a magical entity creature, fits more with the old than the new, but that does not mean that he will like fight in this cosmological war on anyone's side.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Very cool.
Like, same thing with you, dear Prince Charming. You are strongly affected by the magics of the old, but that does not mean that you have to take any side in this, again, cosmological conflict. Yeah. Guess unless there's anything else, next thing that happened was Ribob and the cat. Poor Ribob and I don't know, Illona being Illona.
Yeah. That was funny. I found it like cartoonishly funny because like in a good way, obviously. Then she turned into a cat and then turned right back and then used
her stunt.
Must have been annoying.
Her stunt, yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm also not sure how Muninn and Anghel view the events, other than whatever it is, it's not Illona's fault. Because I imagine they would see Illona there, then suddenly Cat there, then suddenly Illona back. Maybe, I don't know, they think it was just an optical illusion and Ribob is screaming for nothing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then Munin's little slip-up, which allowed Ophelia to insert a little request from you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how she would have done that without Muninn slipping up.
I mean, she would have argued many of the same points. It's just that she would have done so in a like less threatening manner, more in a, hey, it will also affect you if you don't do this manner.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I thought that was how do I put it? I thought like when she said that, when she was threatening like, hey, if you don't do this, our partnership will end or whatever. And also, I thought that was quite clever of you to incorporate that into the compel, like Teeironor on your behalf. I was like, oh damn, that's actually quite like cunning,
I mean, I didn't compel you for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, in hindsight, that was a very specific compel.
I don't think it's what would be the point of compelling you to do something that would have no consequences, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Um,
Unless it's fun.
yeah,
Fun is just like a reason in and of itself, but it was not the case here.
yeah, definitely. No, I liked it. It seemed very purposeful because obviously it was.
Hmm.
So it was cool. It was cool to see it come to like ahead and like see the reasoning behind it, if you know what I mean. The intention.
I appreciate the compliment, I suppose. What else? After that conversation, I guess it was the well, first off, always first and the horse reappearing as if nothing happened, which I don't think
Yeah.
there's much to comment on there. And then the whole communique with Aurelia. I don't know, any thoughts about that other than what you've already expressed during the session itself? Because you had a lot of above board thoughts anyway.
Yeah, I didn't sign up to talk so much for Anghel all of a sudden. I guess you can tell by all my I don't know what to say. Mm. But oh well, I think overall I'm satisfied with what we came out with.
Yeah,
from the whole.
Definitely. I will say it is fun. It's always fun to like see Anghel talk because it's not something. Obviously, it's not something that happens often. So when it does, it's like, oh, cool. Like you know, I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because of that, I feel like I don't have like a really unestablished voice for him. I feel like I'm just
fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough. And you don't have to like follow, I guess, the model that you've kind of but not really set in this session, because this wasn't talking with Anghel. This was telepathic communication, which is a bit like someone more unfiltered, because it's harder to filter your thoughts than your words.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sense. I can live with that, I guess.
That's actually a really good way of looking at it, I think.
I guess all the more reason for you to assume that Aurelia's sympathy is genuine, I guess.
Yeah, she's sweet. I like her.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's just a practiced liar, I guess.
Maybe. It's also cool how we kind of like had these people from the past kind of crop up as potential messengers.
Well, you haven't met all of them, because you didn't spend any time at all in that village. But yeah.
But we did, like, what village? The one with the woman with the blood?
The one where Ophelia stopped at, where she met the bearded fellow who... Yeah.
Oh. We actually met him. I forgot about that. But yeah. But it was still, like, I remember that it was interesting.
To be fair, Ophelia did tell you, like, to not interact, so I guess it's partly on me. But because you followed that advice, there's quite a bit that you missed out on.
Oh, fuck.
That obviously will affect things, but yeah.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I remember we were quite rude, too. We were just like, okay, bye.
I mean, will he really remember a bunch of randoms? Maybe he will, I guess.
Yeah, no, I guess I don't care about that. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just, I guess, wondering what we missed on. Damn. Because it was really intriguing, but for some reason we just decided not. I mean, we just heeded Ophelia's words, I guess. Just decided not to do anything about that.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Ophelia definitely received some very unexpected news in this village, so maybe in hindsight she would have changed her decision, but hindsight is hindsight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Either way. Anything else before we go into our shoutouts?
No.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Well then, dear viewers, thank you very, very much for watching and listening to us. First of all, as usual, do check out Ashen. She does great work, lots of paintings. She accepts commissions, and yeah, she did mention that she has, I guess, more time to do them. So do that. Pay her. She deserves it. I suppose. Her link is on screen and in the description, as is everyone else's. And then we apparently, according to the dice, will continue in alphabetical order, meaning I would ask Deli to please talk about themselves and what they are doing. Deli, could you please go ahead?
Absolutely. Hello everyone, I'm Adeli. I'm a Goblin VTuber on Twitch outside of these sessions. That's my main gig anyway. So I'm an indie VTuber that streams variety. Got something in the works behind the scenes too, which is pretty cool. But we will see about that. If you guys want to come in on the streams and say hi, I do try and stream as much as I can. But if not, I'm more available, I guess is the word, on my Discord, which you can find on the lovely. You can find both those things on the screen. No, on the link on the screen that you can see. Does that make sense? There's a big, massive magic link that takes you everywhere.
It does.
Yeah, but yeah, if you guys want to come and say hi, I love meeting new people.
Do check Deli out. Thank you very, very much. Then we would have Show&Tell. Could you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you are doing?
Yes, so I'm Show&Tell, and I have a Patreon on which I do reactions to shows, mostly anime. And I also have pretty new channels for reactions as well, for edited reactions. Yeah, you can check that out for free if you want.
Yes, you can, and you should. Thank you very, very much, Show&Tell. And dear viewers, was your Dungeon Master, Game Master, Teeironor, as usual. You can, I would encourage you to check out the other campaign that I do with a different group of lovely people, set, unfortunately, in the Warcraft universe, that has been going on for quite a while, and as of the time of this recording, they have been trying to go to a certain city for like 5 sessions in a row, and they still haven't set off yet. So I guess this campaign is not the only one with an odd pacing, I guess. But yeah, other than that, thank you as usual, dear viewers, for watching and listening to us. We should be back next week. We'll probably take a bit of a break after next week, but I'll let you know about all that stuff on Twitter and Blue Sky and all that. Either way, thank you very much for watching and listening to us, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.